Tisha Campbell, now 55 years old, has become an iconic figure in television, and for many, her name is synonymous with her role as Gina Waterspain on the classic 1990s show Martin. The sitcom not only defined a generation of television but also cemented the actress as a household name. Although Campbell's acting career flourished during this time, her connection with Martin Lawrence started before Martin ever hit the airwaves. Many fans of the show might not be aware of the close relationship Campbell had with Lawrence before the show even debuted. Their connection didn't just materialize out of thin air, it was something that had been brewing since they crossed paths in other projects. Before Campbell landed the role of Gina, she and Lawrence had already shared the screen in two notable projects, House Party 1990 and Boomerang 1992. These films, particularly House Party, were staples of 90s culture, and the duo's chemistry was clear. It was during this period that Lawrence seemingly set his sights on Campbell, not just as a co-star but as someone he envisioned playing his love interest in future projects. On September 9, 2023, a video surfaced shared by Liv Bytes featuring Campbell talking about Lawrence's early promises. The video appears to be from a recent interview, although the exact date and interviewer remain unclear. The focus of the clip was Campbell reflecting on the deep bond she developed with Lawrence long before the two ever stepped foot on the set of Martin. In the footage, Campbell, sporting bohemian locks, a style she's been rocking for about a month, shared anecdotes that provide insight into the early days of their working relationship. Campbell reminisced about how she used to frequent comedy venues and watch Lawrence perform, observing the rising star from the back of the room. "I used to sit in the back of the comedy venues, and so I used to watch him go up all the time," she explained, with a tone that mixed nostalgia with admiration. It wasn't just Lawrence who caught her attention. She also became close with Tommy Davidson, another comedic powerhouse of the time. Lawrence and Davidson were famously tight, and through these relationships, Campbell found herself becoming part of a growing comedy circle. Camaraderie she built with Lawrence and Davidson wasn't superficial, but the type of connection that would lead to long-lasting bonds and, ultimately, professional opportunities. The moment that solidified her future with Lawrence came after the two finished working on the film Boomerang. Campbell recalls seeing Lawrence at the film's premiere, seated next to none other than the legendary Diana Ross. Despite the star-studded surroundings, Lawrence took the time to pull Campbell aside and share his plans. He was sitting next to Diana Ross. "So he goes, 'Whatever I'm gonna do, it's either a movie or a series. I want you to play my wife or my girlfriend,'" Campbell recounted in the interview. Her initial reaction? Skepticism. "I was like, okay, sure. All right, Martin," she said with a laugh, her disbelief clear even now. That moment, Campbell didn't think much of Lawrence's promise, chalking it up to Hollywood talk. After all, many actors make such promises in the heat of the moment, and not all of them come to fruition. But, as the world would soon see, Martin Lawrence was a man of his word. Fast forward to August 1992, and Lawrence kept his promise in a big way. Not only did he cast Campbell as his on-screen love interest in Martin, but the show itself became a cultural phenomenon. Martin ran on Fox from 1992 until 1997, with Campbell's role as Gina becoming one of the most beloved characters on television. Her chemistry with Lawrence was electric, and their comedic timing was impeccable. Fans tuned in week after week to watch the antics of Martin and Gina, and the show's success turned both Lawrence and Campbell into television superstars. However, as with many success stories in Hollywood, things weren't as smooth behind the scenes as they appeared on screen. By the time Martin entered its fifth and final season, the dynamics between Campbell and Lawrence had soured significantly. In November 1996, Campbell made headlines when she abruptly left the show, citing intolerable work conditions. The announcement sent shockwaves through the entertainment world, as fans struggled to understand why the beloved Gina would walk away from one of the most popular shows on television. The situation escalated in January 1997 when Campbell filed a lawsuit against Lawrence and the producers of Martin, accusing Lawrence of sexual harassment. In her lawsuit, Campbell alleged that Lawrence had made unwanted sexual advances and verbally abused her during their time on set. The accusations were serious and cast a shadow over the final season of the show. Lawrence, for his part, vehemently denied the allegations, and the tension between the two co-stars reached a boiling point. As the lawsuit played out, fans watched in confusion as the dynamic duo that had made them laugh for years appeared to be locked in a bitter legal battle. Campbell's departure left the show in a precarious position, and while the producers managed to convince her to return for the final 2 episodes in April 1997, the damage had already been done. Those who tuned in to the last episodes of Martin noticed a glaring absence. Campbell and Lawrence never shared the screen during the final stretch of the series. It was a stark reminder of the legal and personal battle that had torn them apart. The aftermath of the lawsuit left many fans divided. Some stood by Campbell, believing her accusations and applauding her for standing up against harassment. Others sided with Lawrence, insisting that the comedian had been wrongfully accused and that the entire situation had been blown out of proportion. The rift between Campbell and Lawrence was public and painful, and for many years it seemed as though the two would never reconcile. But time has a way of healing even the deepest wounds. Fast forward to 2022, and Campbell and Lawrence had managed to repair their fractured relationship. The two appeared together on BET's Martin, the reunion special, alongside their former co-stars Takina Arnold and Carl Anthony Payne too. The reunion was a bittersweet moment for fans who had longed to see the cast back together, but it also raised questions about the unresolved tensions between Campbell and Lawrence. During the reunion, Campbell addressed the elephant in the room, albeit briefly. "Everything else is a personal situation that we've all healed from," she said, referencing the lawsuit and the allegations of sexual harassment. "So we're not even going to talk about it." Her words suggested that while the past had been painful, both she and Lawrence had moved on. For many fans, this was a relief, a sign that the two stars who had brought so much joy into their lives had finally found peace. But not everyone was willing to let the past stay in the past. In the comments section of the Live by Tez Instagram post, some users dredged up old accusations and criticisms. One person wrote, "Didn't she lie on him, said he tried to rape her or something?" Comment echoed a sentiment that had been circulating for years, that Campbell had fabricated her allegations against Lawrence. Another user took aim at Campbell's personal life, writing, "Then a few years later you let that ex-husband of yours make you file an SA case and sue him. Then that husband leaves you and takes your money." Comment referenced Campbell's marriage to Dwayne Martin, the father of her 2 children. Couple was married from 1996 to 2018, and their divorce had been a public and painful affair. Despite the criticism, Campbell has never wavered in her claims of sexual misconduct against Lawrence. She has also never publicly retracted her allegations. However, she has spoken about the power of forgiveness and the importance of moving forward. During a June 2022 interview with CBS Mornings, Campbell was asked how she and Lawrence had managed to rebuild their relationship after such a tumultuous period. "We worked really hard to reconnect, to forgive," Campbell explained. Her words were filled with emotion, reflecting the depth of the work it took for her and Lawrence to mend their relationship.